Well, hello, hey, Mitchell here. I've got my two cats that are very curious, so we might be interrupted. But anyway, I talked about last week. I had been on a media fast, and part of what I was doing, getting back into it, was trying to find things that were not intellectually stimulating, or that didn't cause intellectualization. And that caused some questions. So I wanted to talk about that. Right now, with everything that's going on, I feel like intellectualizing is tricky, and I'll go into what that is. I see, for example, even those in the awakened community are saying you need to be informed. But stay on your path. And I think what I meant is that being informed is going to happen. And being informed is putting yourself in the place where you want to be, and then accepting what comes that is supportive of who and what you want to become. And so that kind of information, I feel, is very useful, and it also helps you to stay on your path. When I'm talking about path, it's about getting out of the head and getting here in the heart. When I talk about the path, it's about becoming your much broader self. This body, mind person is so limited and so myopically focused with what is happening only right here. And so if you put yourself in your broader perspective, really stay in your heart center, your inner being. I've done a lot of meditations where we start out in the solar plexus, really come into your inner power, and then move up to your heart center. You open up to that person, and person, I'm not talking about this human being, that entity that is infinitely larger than just this body mind person. So anyway, be informed. Can you inform yourself of that, where you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to see this existence evolve into, and where you want to see it go, say, for further iterations of these body-mind experiences. And go there with your imagination. Use all of your intellectual capacity to stay rooted in something much, much larger. And so intellectualization, I find, is so often misused, because it's only about perpetuating what we already know. Now, what if we were able to take any bit of intellectualization and apply it to only your imaginative self, and what is coming through in your inspirations and your imaginations, and then use your intellectualization to get there. So there was, there's been periods in our history where there was great advancements, and then there's also periods where a lot of those advancements were stifled, and we were using our intellectualizing to stifle them. And then part of what's happened is that we've been using our intellectualizing in order to unstifle what's been stifled. And what happens is we give more credence to the ones who are tearing down and who are clamping down. And it's like, okay, if that's your game, you play your game. I don't really care about restricting and bringing down. I'm about expansion, and I'm going to use my intellectualization to expand, open up, be the person who is far larger than just what you see here with this physical being. Being informed is my own business, and I'm being informed of the bigger picture. So even by staying focused even a little bit on the news of the day, I feel is restrictive. And so especially the news of the mass media, those bits and pieces that I've been seeing about findings, archaeological findings on our planet that date advanced, highly progressed civilizations deep into the double digits of thousands of years, 12, 14, even 20,000 years ago. There were technologies that we don't understand that those civilizations were utilizing on a grand scale. And opening up to that, and then that opens up imagination. That's the kind of being informed that I feel can be very, very useful and can be awakening and bring some of these other things into reality yet again, and for the first time. So being informed isn't about following the party line. It's about finding what inspires your imagination and going with that, digging deeper and deeper and deeper into what fires you up, what excites you. And when you go there, these other things, first off, they fade from your daily awareness, and so whatever stress they provide disappears. Over time it goes away, and you have far more energy for expansion and for awareness and for waking up and for enlightenment, if you want to call it anything. It's about waking up. And when I say enlightenment, I get this sense of light and always following the light. There's that old cartoon of the light bulb going off above somebody's head. Light bulb. enlightenment. Wake up, follow the light bulb. Don't look back into the dark, and don't give that credence. So, yeah, maybe my perspective is a little different than what a lot of folks are trying to perpetuate. And by, earnestly saying, hey, you need to be aware. And I do understand that, yes, there are tragic things happening to individuals. And the fascinating thing is, and I may have mentioned this in the last video too, is that here we are in this experience of limitation. We're bound by 5 senses. We're bound by 3 dimensions. We're bound by time. We are in a pretty small box already. So let's not make it smaller. Let's open up the box. Let's look out. Let's dive into the dimensions that we have access to, but we've never been, because we're always looking out here in these restricted 3 dimensions, in these restricted 5 senses. So yes, there are things that are uncomfortable for the 5 senses, and that create a sense of or perpetuate that restriction, that 3D reality of only participating in a world of things, and that they can harm this body and they can end this physical existence. And so that's being aware of that, perhaps, being more and more aware that I can be harmed by them. It's all kind of a Pandora's box. You open it up and there's so many possibilities. And I can get so many criticisms for this perspective, especially from those who are very, very invested in this physical reality being the one reality. And so my point is that this physical reality is a very small portion of reality. It is only that place where consciousness decided to take a look at itself. And we've started at the very smallest point. Let's continue to look at ourselves as consciousness, but as expansive beings, and as the consciousness that is infinite and can expand beyond the perspective of the limitation, and fully incorporate the understandings that come only from the wordlessness of being inside. And those understandings, as I called them, are so tricky because they don't have any proof of reality to the physical piece. So we have somebody is just busy. This one has been hopping around, checking things out. This is Booga. She's very interested in what's happening over here. She won't let me talk without coming in. Oh my goodness. So, Booga, and then Uga is her sister. And they're very similar. Booga has a kink in the back of her tail, as you can see here. Anyway, got a little bit of Booga fur in my mouth. With that interruption, I've lost my entire train of thought. Maybe we were at a good place to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas or comments or perspectives on what I've talked about here, please drop them in the comments. Subscribe, like. You're probably going to hear things from me that are different than anybody else that's out there. I do hear some things that come back around, but a lot of it, I feel like, when I do want to look for things, I look for what comes from inside, what is inspired from in here. I don't try to see what other people are doing and then comment on that. Especially in the political scene right now, because it is it's a very strong tactic to maintain this small physicality only piece. So also, I'm going to be doing a live starting tomorrow. I will give you guys more information on that. So anyway, great to chat. Everybody have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.